We're going through crazy times. The coronavirus has spread out throughout the world. Every country, every state, there are thousands of people who are sick. Schools are closed and we have to stay at home. I keep on getting these phone calls. How do I stay sane in these crazy times? My kids are driving me crazy. I'm fighting with my wife. My kids are tearing each other apart. What's going to be? My name is Menachem Ingber. I'm a psychologist and a Rav. I'm an expert in dealing with post-trauma, building resilience, and parenting. I think if we take 5 points and implement them, we could create normalcy in our families and structure in these crazy times. Number 1, we have to change our mindset. Throughout the year and throughout our life, we had a certain picture of how things are supposed to be. How my day is, what hours my kids get up and go to sleep, what do they do during the day? What do I do during the day? When I go out to kollel or to work, my wife, what she does during the day, how clean our house is, how many times our kids are going to fight. That's a mindset which we have to change. For the next couple of weeks, maybe months, things are going to be different. And when things are going to be different, we have to develop a new mindset, new expectations, and be ready and patient for things to be different. The second point is to recognize and assess our abilities as well as our children's abilities or capabilities. If we know what we are actually able to do, if we know what we can really expect from our children in these times, then we're dealing with knowledge that we can use. We don't over-expect or under-expect. So the second thing again is to assess our abilities and our children's abilities. The third point is to budget those functional abilities. Once we know what our abilities are, what can we expect from our children, we have to budget. And if our kids are great playing a game for a half hour, we have to see what we can do with half-hour slots. If we can sit and learn, or our children can sit and learn for an hour, then we can't talk about 3 hours or 5 hours. We have to budget what we have, budget the functional abilities of ourselves and our family to have realistic expectations. The fourth point is to be proactive rather than reactive. In any situation, we can wait till the situation is going on and then we have to react to what's going on. Or we can grab the bull by the horns and we could try to bring ourselves and get into the best situation possible under the circumstances. Instead of putting out fires when the kids are fighting all the time or dealing with this tremendous mess all over the house, how about setting time? Setting time for play, setting time for learning, setting rules, different kind of rules than the whole year. Like we said, this is a new mindset, this is a different situation. But be proactive and under or in the present situation, this and this is what we're going to do. These are the rules. This is acceptable and this is not acceptable. But we have to change them. The final point is to define what success means for us. Now I'll explain. If you remember, we spoke about changing the mindset. This is a new and different situation. The second thing was to assess what our abilities are and what are our kids' abilities. So kids can really clean up 10 minutes a day, a half hour a day, but if they're home the whole day, we're going to want them to clean up 2 hours a day. They might not be able to do that. The third thing was to budget our time and our functional abilities according to our assessment. So we demand or we encourage the things that are realistic. The fourth is that we're proactive, meaning that we decide ahead of time and we try to build a schedule that makes sense. And now comes defining success. So if we decide that we want our kids to learn every day for a half hour because under the circumstances, assessing the capabilities, and with what we have, that makes sense. Then it doesn't make a difference that the whole year around they learn 5 hours. And it doesn't make a difference even that the neighbor gets their kid to learn 3 hours. In our situation, success is a half hour of learning. If success means, at the end of the day, putting all the toys in the closet, even though the floors were not washed, it's true that the whole year the floors are washed, And it's true that the neighbor might wash their floors even under these circumstances, but it doesn't make a difference. We're realistic, we budget, we assess, we change our mindset. And therefore success for us is when the toys are put away in their place. But the idea over here is, ahead of time to decide, what is it I really think that's important? What is success? And then to actually make a list, and in that list only include the things that are really important and that you think will really work. And at the end of each day, check it off. That way, even if you compare it to other times or to other people, it won't be the greatest, but since you decided ahead of time what success is, and it was realistic, then you made it. You created a situation where your family, your home, your relationships are successful. Batzlacha.